I'm Grace Leonor Bigalang, and today I'm going to present to you defining marketing for the 21st century. So before we proceed in our discussion, I want to highlight the 5 important things or the questions that we are going to address in this discussion. First, why is marketing important? Second, what is the scope of marketing? Third, what are some core marketing concepts? Fourth, how has marketing management changed in recent years? And lastly, what are the tasks necessary for successful marketing management? So, what is marketing? As it was flashed in the screen, marketing is about identifying and meeting human and social needs. Let's take these 3 pictures as an example. So, as you can see, we have 3 platforms here, which is the Lazada, Shopee, and Lalamove. Before COVID, these 3 platforms are not really necessary and not known in the public. I think only few knows that before pandemic. But during pandemic, we do not have the freedom to go out because of the virus. So that these 3 platforms, and I think there are many more delivery apps that use that opportunity to market their products and their services. So it means marketing is about identifying what is needed and meeting those needs. Why is marketing important? Marketing is necessary because it ensures that the products and services meets the customer's needs. It also fosters competition and innovation, leading to better products and services at lower price. Also, it helps to build brand awareness, loyalty, and company's reputation. In the 21st century, marketing is not just about selling but creating value for customers and building lasting relationships that lead to sustained profitability. It is also the foundation which companies can grow, innovate, and contribute to the societal well-being. As they said, marketing is really important in the management of a business because without marketing, the products and services will not be known to the customers. Speaking of societal well-being, who would have thought that we need shampoo? 'Di ba dati naman nung unang panahon, our ancestors do not use shampoos. They are just using what is available in the environment. Like for example, Google. Ngayon, if you're not using shampoo or a conditioner sa pagliligo, feeling natin hindi kompleto. Same as phones, 'di ba? Dati may mga kaya lang ang may mga phone. Naalala ko noon nung bata ako, ang may phone lang sa pamilya namin, yung tita ko. So, pero ngayon, even the people from the lower class has it because it becomes necessary in our life. Successful marketing builds demand for products and services, which in turn creates job. By contributing to the bottom line, successful marketing also allows firms to more fully engage in socially responsible activities. Let's take this example. Yeah, itong pinaka bago, siguro I think one of the latest news here. So we all know Carlos Yulo, no? So sikat na sikat siya kasi siya ang ikalawang taong nagdala ng karangalan ng gold sa ating bansa sa Olympics. So as you can see, Carlos Yulo got a lot of incentives and prizes, even from the business that is not really well known to public. For example, like this one. So aside from the money, let's highlight this lifetime free ice cream from Dairy Queen. So I think Dairy Queen is kilala naman sa public. Pero ito, so Lifetime Pares from Diwata Pares. Wow, that's so amazing. So, bakit kaya nila yan ginagawa? Kasi that is part of their marketing. Nakikisabay sila kung ano ang trending. Diba? Yung nanalo siya, marami ring mga brands and marami ring mga companies ang bumati sa kanya. Kanya-kanya sila gawa ng kanilang mga pubmat na talagang nakakakita ng uniqueness at agaw pansin. Like these pictures. And also this one. Diba? Ang galing. At ito pa, syempre, hindi lamang itong mga kilalang mga brands ang nag-congrats kay Carlos Yulo. Even this small Mang Boys Canteen of Darkness computer repair and clothing lines. This small business also congratulated Carlos Yulo. So as you can see, we can see a lot of grammar mistakes here. So I do not know if they really did it on purpose or it's part of their marketing para mas makita ng mga tao dahil 'di ba madalas kapag may mali, mas napapansin ng mga tao. But yeah, it is their marketing. It's their way to promote their services. And even this very controversial PubMat from Iloilo officials from their Facebook post, which later on they remove it in their Facebook account because it was flagged by a lot of people because they use Carlos Yulo's wins to offer free vasectomies for those people who has Carlos in their names. And this one also, I believe that we know him dahil sa kanyang mga comment, lalong-lalo na sa video ng mga teachers. So, sabi niya, mga teachers tatamad-tamad at reklamador, sabi ni Tito Mars. So, sa panonood ko ng video niya, parang feeling ko ang branding niya is about negative marketing. So, remember that negative marketing is still a marketing. But, it creates a bad reputation. So, sarili mo naman ang sinisira mo. So, better kapag nakakita po tayo ng negative marketing, the best way is not to respond, not to comment, not to engage with that video or with that post kasi dun sila kumikita. Good marketing is no accident, but a result of careful planning and execution using state-of-the-art tools and techniques. So, pinag-iisipan po ang market kung paano mag-marketing. Pinag-iisipan na mabuti ano i-post, paano ibebenta ang isang produkto or isang serbisyo in a very creative way. Hindi yon aksidente, talagang pinagplanuhan. Now, who markets? Marketers and prospects defined as a marketer who is someone who seeks. Marketers and prospect defined as someone who seeks a response, attention, a purchase, a vote, a donation from another party called the prospect. If two parties are seeking to sell something to each other, we call them both marketers. Here we have 8 demand states that the marketers cater. First, let's discuss what is negative demand. When you say negative demand, it is about the consumer dislikes the product and may even pay to avoid it. For example, ayaw ng tao na mamatay. Tama? Sino bang gusto sa ating mamatay? Pero, we paid for insurance. We paid for St. Peter. Kahit ayaw natin mangyari, kahit yung kanilang ino-offer na product or service is about on our future, kung sakaling mamatay tayo, meron tayong secured ang ating kabaong, or kung sakaling maaksidente tayo, secured na may mababayad tayo. Ayaw nating maaksidente, ayaw nating mamatay, pero we are paying for it. That is the negative demand. Second, non-existent demand. When we say non-existent demand, consumers may be unaware or uninterested in the product. Ibig sabihin, hindi nila gaanong alam or hindi sila gaanong interesado sa produkto. Pero minsan, binibili pa rin nila out of curiosity. Okay? Now, third, latent demand. When you say latent demand, consumers may share a strong need that cannot be satisfied by an existing product. For example, we have our phones. Our phones, as time goes by, naglalag yung ating phone. Kasi nga, yung ating mga applications, yung ating mga nilalagay sa phone is tumataas ang storage. Kaya kailangan ng malaking storage. As a result, we want another phone with bigger storage to satisfy our needs. So that is latent demand. Always remember, share a strong need that cannot be satisfied by an existing product. So ibig sabihin, kahit ayos pa yung phone natin, kahit magagamit pa natin, since hindi yan na nasasatisfy yung ating need na mabilis na paggamit ng phone na hindi laggy, we chose to buy another phone. Fourth, declining demand. When we see declining demand, it is wherein consumers begin to buy the product less frequently or not at all. For example, yung panahon natin tayo po ay mga estudyante pa lamang, ang pinakausong-uso na brand ng phone is Sony Ericsson and Nokia. Tama? Tama po. Pero ngayon, ano na po, ano nangyari sa mga brand na yon? Yeah, meron pa rin pong Nokia, pero hindi na siya ganun ka in demand. And ang Sony Ericsson, hindi ko alam kung meron pa rin po. So that is an example of declining demand. Dati, sikat na sikat yung mga produktong yan, yung mga brands ngayon. Pero ngayon, paunti-unti silang nawawala. Fifth, irregular demand. When we say irregular demand, consumer purchases vary on a seasonal, monthly, weekly, daily, or even hourly basis. For example, like sa panahon po natin ngayon, tag-ulan na. So, ano pong in demand natin? Raincoat and umbrella. Correct. Pero, pagdating ng tag-araw, hindi na ganun in demand ang raincoat. Ang mas in demand, halo-halo. Okay? Ngayon, hindi na gaano uso ang halo-halo kasi tag-ulan. So, that is an example of irregular demand. Sixth, we have full demand. When we say full demand, consumers are adequately buying all products put into marketplace. For example, medicine. Pag bumili ang isang consumer ng medicine, usually it will be buy in bulk orders. Maramihan, lalo na kapag mga antibiotics, 'di ba? So that is what we call full demand. Seventh, over full demand. More consumers would like to buy the product that can be satisfied. For example, rice. We cannot live without rice. We are Filipinos. Every one of us loves rice. So, also, example of overfull demand is food. So, yan isa sa mga business na hindi talaga mawawala sa atin. Kailangan ng tao ng food. 8, unwholesome demand. When we say unwholesome demand, consumers may be attracted to products that have undesirable social consequences. For example, like cigarettes, vape, alcoholic drinks. We all know that these things have a negative impact in our health conditions. But still, there's a lot of people who opted to buy this product. And also, even those in cigarette, kung lalagyanan, di ba po, meron ng mga pictures doon ng mga lung cancer, mouth cancer, kung ano-ano pa. But still, people who like that products are still buying it. That is an example of unwholesome demand. Okay, let's go now to the key customers markets. First, consumer markets. When we say consumer markets, companies selling mass consumer goods and services such as juices, cosmetics, athletic shoes, and air travel spent a great deal of time establishing a strong brand image. By developing a superior product and packaging, ensuring its availability and backing it with engaging communications and reliable service. Second, business markets. Companies selling Companies selling business goods and services often face well-informed professional buyers, skilled and evaluating competitive offerings. Business buyers buy goods to make or resell a product to others at a profit. Business marketers must demonstrate how their products will help achieve higher revenue or cost. Advertising can play a role, but the sales force, the price, and the company's reputation may play a greater one. Third, we have global markets. When we say global markets, companies in the global market must decide which countries to enter, how to enter each, as an exporter, licensor, joint venture partner, contract manufacturer, or solo manufacturer. They must decide it, how to adapt products and services features to each country, how to price products in different countries, and how to design communication for different cultures. They may they may face different requirements for buying and disposing of property, cultural, language, legal, and political differences, and currency fluctuations. Yet, the payoff can be huge. That's why other people are choosing global markets. Next, we have nonprofit and governmental markets. When we say nonprofit and governmental markets, companies selling to nonprofit organizations with limited purchasing power such as churches, universities, charitable organizations, and government agencies need to price carefully. Lower selling prices affect the features and quality the seller can build into the offering. Much government purchasing calls for bids, and buyers often focus on practical solution and favor the lowest bid in the absence of extenuating factors. Next, we have marketplaces, market spaces, and meta markets. When we say the marketplace, it is the physical store, such as the store we usually shop in. The market space is digital, like for example, the applications that we used earlier as an example, the Lazada, the Shopee, the Lalamove, and many more. That is an example of market space. It is when you shop on the internet. Now, Northern Western University's Mohan Sawhney has proposed the concept of a meta market to describe a cluster of complementary products and services closely related in the minds of consumers, but spread across a diverse set of industries. Now, what are the scope of marketing? We have different scopes of marketing. First, customer research. When you say customer research, it is about understanding customer needs and behaviors to inform the product development and marketing strategies. It is very important to know who, what, and where are our customers, and that is under of customer research. Second, we also have product development. Product development means designing and creating products that meet market demands. Okay, so since the world is changing, it's evolving, our products and services should also develop continually. In marketing side, it is very important to be updated. Third, branding. Building a strong brand identity that resonates with customers. That's why we can see a lot of franchise. For example, Jollibee, di ba? There are people who buy franchise. Pagbili lamang ng pangalan ng Jollibee, mahal na. Maliban pa lang doon yung papagawa ka ng building, ng pili ka ng mga products mo na ibebenta. So, another example din is yung shawarma, nakalimutan ko na, but basta something about shawarma. So, meron din binibiling franchise doon. Kaya, that's the really positive side of creating a strong brand because some people can buy your franchise. Next, distribution. Distribution is about ensuring products are available to customers when and where they want them. Fifth, promotion. It's about communicating the benefits of products to customers through various channels. We can use advertisement on the TV. We can use advertisement using Facebook post, TikTok post. Diba? We have a lot of videos. We can watch a lot of videos wherein a short memes tapos dudugtungan ng video ng nagbebenta, diba? So, that is what we call promotion. Sales. Sales about direct interaction with customer to close transactions. So, sa sales po, it is really important to have an avid or tatawag nating suki. Kasi, kapag yung suki natin na yon naging maganda ang samahan natin, maganda yung syempre, sa umpisa, i-market, kukunin ang loob. So, yun ay magpapatuloy kapag maganda yung produkto at serbisyo natin. Lagi tayong bibilhan. So, that's really important. Doon na po papasok yung customer service. It's about the post-purchase support that enhances customer satisfaction and loyalty. For example, dito sa amin, usong-uso po ang Piso Wi-Fi. So, yung binibilhan ng Piso Wi-Fi, may lifetime service, siya. Lifetime service. Yeah. Kung masirang Piso Wi-Fi, pwede niyang ayusin. Kung merong problem, pwede siyang tawagan, yung pinagbilhan upang ayusin. So, that is what we call customer service. Kapag maganda ating serbisyo, mas matutuwa ang ating mga customer at pwede pa siyang mag-recommend. Recommend yung ating produkto or yung serbisyo sa ibang tao. Marketing also covers like digital, social media, content marketing, and CRM or customer relationship management. So, what is digital marketing? Digital marketing is an umbrella term that encompasses all marketing efforts that use the internet or electronic devices. So, it includes various online marketing channels and strategies to promote products, services, or brands. Digital marketing scope is a wide array of tactics such as SEO, email marketing, social media marketing, affiliate marketing, mobile marketing, and more. The purpose of it is to reach and engage potential customers through various digital channels, driving brand awareness, leads, sales, and customers' loyalty. Second, we have social media marketing. So as you can see, we can think that there's a slight difference only between this marketing, digital marketing, social media, and content marketing. But after this discussion, I will also explain what are the differences between these three. So, social media marketing is a subset of digital marketing. Okay? Meaning, subset po ng digital marketing sa social media. Its focus is about promoting products, services, or content through social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and many more. Its scope is, it involves activities such as creating and sharing content, post images, video, running social media ad, engaging with followers, and analyzing performance metrics. That's why there's a lot of freelancers in terms of social media marketing wherein they are the one who are in charge of the Facebook account or Facebook page of the employer. They post ads, they promote the, okay, so yung trabaho nila, sila ang gumagawa ng mga PubMat, sila ang nag-a-attract ng mga customers para yung kanilang employee or employer, ay makakuha pa ng mas maraming kliyente. So, yun yung isa sa mga work ng social media marketer. Its purpose is to build brand awareness, engage with audiences, drive traffic to a website, and foster community around a brand. Third, we have content marketing. When we say content marketing, it is another subset of digital marketing that involves creating, publishing, and distributing valuable, relevant, and consistent content to attract and engage a target audience. It can include blog posts, videos, infographics, ebooks, podcasts, and other forms of content that provides value to potential customers. Kung ang social media po, it is more of the application like Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. Content marketing focus on the blog post, yung sa mga websites po, ebooks, podcasts, and other forms of content that provide value to potential customers. Now, the customer relationship management is a strategy and set of tools or software that businesses use to manage and analyze customer interactions and data throughout the customer life cycle. It focuses on improving business relationships with customers. Let's take this video, let's watch this video as an example of what I'm telling you about social media marketing.
Everything in our booth with Jesus on it is free because Jesus loves us. Bless the Lord, oh my soul.
Yan. So, kung mapapansin po natin, yung first clip ng video, it came from another owner wherein nagmumotor, tumambling, kinat, tapos tumambling yung another person na may hawak na mga products. So, that's his way on how he will promote his product. So, he used Instagram. So, nakuha ko po yan sa Instagram ni Andre. Now, let's go on to some core marketing concepts. Core marketing concepts includes needs, wants, and demands. It is about understanding the differences between a basic human needs. What is basic human needs? Food, shelter, clothing, education. Want, when you say want, it is not a need. Pwede tayo mabuhay kahit wala ito, pero gusto natin. And also, a demand. For example, a demand for organic food driven by health consciousness, a demand for new shoes driven by the videos we see on our reels na nagtumatakbo, or many more. Needs are the basic human requirements such as for food, air, water, clothing, and shelter. Humans also have strong needs for recreation, education, and entertainment. These needs becomes want when they are directed to specific objects that might satisfy the need. For example, we need food, but we choose to order, for example, chicken from Jollibee. So we need food, but we want chicken from Jollibee. So that is an example of having a need and having a want. Kasi pwede naman tayong kumain kahit hindi chicken from Jollibee, tama? Okay. Next is demand. Demands are the specific products backed up by an ability to pay. Many people want a Mercedes, but only few are able to buy one. Companies must measure not only how many people want their product, but also how many are willing and able to buy it. Responding only to the started need may shortchange the customer. Customers did not know much about cellular phones when they were first introduced, and Nokia and Ericsson fought to shape consumers' perception of them. To gain an edge, companies must help customers learn what they want. Next, we have segmentation, targeting, and positioning. When we say segmenting, it is about segmenting the market into distinct group, targeting a specific segment, and positioning the product to meet the needs of the target segment. For example, not everyone likes the same cereal, restaurant, college, or movie. Therefore, marketers start by dividing the markets into segments. They identify the profile distinct groups of buyers who might prefer or require varying products and services mixes by examining demographic, psychographic, and behavioral differences among buyers. After identifying market segment, the marketer decides which present and greatest opportunities and which are the target markets. For each, the firm develops a market offering that is positioned in the minds of the target buyers as delivering some central benefits. For example, Volvo develops its car for buyers to whom safety is a major concern, positioning its vehicle as the safest a customer can buy. That's why others are buying it because they want safety, but others do not buy it kasi iba yung priority nila. So that is an example of segmentation, targeting, and positioning. Next, we also have offerings and brands. Companies address customer needs by putting forth a value proposition, a set of benefits that can satisfy those needs. The intangible value proposition is made physical by an offering which can be a combination of products, services, information, and experiences. A brand is an offering from a known source. A brand name such as McDonald's carries many associations in A brand is an offering from a known source. A brand name such as McDonald's carries many associations in minds of people that make up its image, like pag narinig ang McDonald's, ang pumapasok agad sa isipan ng tao is pwedeng hamburgers, cleanliness, convenience, courtesy, golden heart ng mga management kasi it's part-time friendly para sa mga college students na nag-work. So, all companies strive to build a brand image with many strong, favorable, and unique brand associations as possible. Next, we also have customer value and satisfaction. The buyer chooses the offerings he or she perceives to deliver the most value, the sum of the tangible and intangible benefits and cost to her. Value, a central marketing concept, is primarily a combination of quality, services, and price, called the customer value triad. Value perceptions increase with quality and service, but decrease with price. We can think of marketing as the identification, creation, communication, delivery, and monitoring of customer value. Satisfaction reflects a person's judgment of a product's perceived performance in relationship to expectation. If the performance falls short of expectation, the customer is disappointed. If it matches expectations, the customer is satisfied. If it exceeds them, the customer is delighted. Marketing channels. It is about reaching a target market. The marketer uses three kinds of marketing channels, such as communication channels. When we say communication channels, it means that delivering and receiving messages from target buyers and include newspaper, magazine, radio, television, mail, telephone, billboards, posters, flyers, audio tapes, and many more, even internet. Beyond this, firms communicate through the look of their retail stores and websites and other media. Marketers are increasingly adding dialogue channels such as email, blogs, and toll-free numbers to familiar monologue channels such as ads. The marketer uses distribution channels to display, sell, or deliver the physical product or service to the buyer or user. For example, we use internet to look for the product that we want from the Lazada. That is an example of marketing channel. Next, we have this marketing environment. When we say marketing environment, it means what environment do we have in our products or in our service. It is also included by the people that are in that business or in that market. Okay, sino yung nagtatrabaho, sino yung mga boss, sino yung gumagawa ng produkto. So, those are the marketing environment. We also have core marketing concepts such as supply chain. When we say supply chain, it is a longer channel stretching from raw materials to components to finished product carried to final buyers. For example, if we want coffee, before we have our coffee in our table, we have the farmers. From them, we can buy the raw materials. And then, the company or the business firm process it to become a coffee. Second, we also have competitions. Competitions can be healthy and unhealthy. So if you have a competitor with your business, do not worry because it is part of marketing. It is part of the business. Competition includes all the actual and potential rival offerings and substitutes a buyer might consider. So, halimbawa, ano bang positive impact of having a competitor? Kapag may competitor ka, halimbawa, nagtitinda ka ng isda. Sa isang lugar na yon, ikaw pa lang ang nagtitinda. Pero as time goes by, tinabihan ka na. So ngayon, ang magiging mindset ng mga tao, yung lugar na yon, talipapa yon. Pag pumunta sila doon, marami silang mabibilhan. Therefore, mas puntahan ng tao yung lugar mo kapag mas maraming nagtitinda or competitor doon sa lugar na yon. So that is an example of a healthy competition. Okay? Next, how has marketing management changed in recent years? The field of marketing management has seen significant changes, driven largely by advances in technology and shift in consumer behavior. So here are some of the major societal forces. First, it was changed with regards to network information technology. When we say network information technology, it is the digital revolution that has created an information age that promises to lead to more accurate levels of production, more targeted communications, and more relevant pricing. So, di ba ngayon, madali na lang pong hanapin sa internet kung magkano ang presyo ng ating produkto, magkano ang presyo ng sibuyas ngayon, magkano ang presyo ng bawang ngayon. At pwede nang maipag-compare ito sa iba't ibang mga seller. Next, globalization. Technological advances in transportation, shipping, and communication have made it easier for companies to market in and consumers to buy from almost any country in the world. So, international travel has continued to grow as more people work and play in another country. Third, we also have the regulation. Many countries have deregulated industry to create greater competition and growth opportunities. For example, in the United States, laws restricting financial services, telecommunications, and electric utilities have all been loosed in the spirit of greater competition. Next, privatization. So privatization also developed or changed through recent years because many countries have converted public companies to private ownership. For example, here in the Philippines, during the Marcos regime, yung atin pong daluyan ng kuryente or yung kuryente natin, that is public. Pero dahil nga din sa panahon ng administrasyong Marcos noon, Marcos Sr., marami ring mga ang Pilipinas natin, ang ekonomiya natin is bumaba. Nagkaroon ng decline sa economy. Kaya naglabas siya ng executive order wherein the public utilities or public buildings na hindi nagaano nagfa-function ay ibenta na sa private. That's why naging Meralco na ang dating kuryente na from public, ngayon Meralco na ang nag-o-own, so private na. For example, sa tubig din. So yan, so that is an example of privatization. Next, heightened competition. Intense competition among domestic and foreign brands raises marketing costs and shrink profit margins. Brand manufacturers are further buffeted by powerful retailers that market their own store brands. Many strong brands have become mega brands and extended into a wide variety of related products categories, presenting a significant competitive threat. Next, we also have industry convergence. Industry boundaries are blurring as companies recognize new opportunities at the intersection of two or more industries. The computing and consumer electronic industries are converging. For example, Apple, yung Sony and Samsung released a stream of entertainment devices from MP3 players to plasma TVs and camcorders. Digital technology fuels this massive convergence. And next, we also have retail transformation. Store-based retailers face competition from catalog houses to direct mail, firms, newspapers, magazine, and TV direct-to-consumers ad, home shopping, TV, and e-commerce. In response, entrepreneurial retailers are building entertainment into their stores with coffee bars, demonstrations, and performances, such as an experience rather than a product assortment. We also have disintermediation. The amazing success of early .coms such as AOL, Amazon.com, Yahoo, eBay, E-Trade, and others created disintermediation in delivery of products and services by intervening in the traditional flow of goods through distribution channels. These firms struck terror in the hearts of established manufacturers and retailers. In response, the traditional companies engaged in reintermediation and become brick-and-click retailers, adding online services to their offerings. Some became stronger contenders than pure-click firms because they had a larger pool of resources to work with and establish brand names. Here in the Philippines, we also have those Lazada, yung katulad na aking example kanina, Shopee, Grab. So, kiniklik na lang. So, isang click na lang, nagkakaroon na ng disintermediation. Next, we also have consumer buying power. In part, due to disintermediation via the internet, consumers have substantially increased their buying power. Kahit saan na, pwede na mag-order ng product, kahit sa bahay, nasa office. So, isang click na lang, mabibili na, basta may pera ka. It is available 24/7, 7 days a week, bypassing the traditional way of market wherein you're going to the physical store in order to buy the product. So next, consumer information. Consumer can collect information in as much wide and depth as they want about practically anything. For example, when I bought my phone, I really searched for its features, ano yung magandang phone na bilhin based on my need. Kasi ang gusto ko is malaking storage. So talagang available ang resources at ang internet in order for me to have information on the products that I am going to buy. Meron na rin tayong tinatawag na reviews. So that is an example of customer information. From the review of that person, makikita kung talaga maganda yung produkto. Okay, next we have consumer participation. Consumers have found an amplified voice to influence peer and public opinion. In recognition, companies are inviting them to participate in designing and even marketing offerings to heighten their sense of connection and ownerships. Next, we also have consumer resistance. Many customers today feel free. There are few real products differences. So they show less brand loyalty and become more price and quality sensitive in their search for value. The less tolerant about undesired marketing. So, ayan, Kelovic study found record levels as marketing resistance from consumer. A majority reported negative opinions about marketing and advertising and said they avoid products they feel are overmarketed. We also have 5 competing concepts. These five competing concepts under which organizations can choose to conduct their business. First, production concept. Production concept is one of the oldest concepts in the business. It holds that consumers prefer products that are widely available and inexpensive. Managers of production-oriented businesses concentrate on achieving high product efficiency, low cost, and mass distribution. For example, in China, there are largest PC manufacturers like Lenovo Group and domestic appliances like Haier. So these groups take advantage of the country's huge and inexpensive labor pool to dominate the market. For example, here in the Philippines, our labor cost, yung mga trabahador natin, mababa lang yung sahod sa kanila. Kaya there's a lot of companies, for example, in Cavite, we have EPSA there. So maraming mga companies from other country na gumagawa ng kanilang mga produkto. So minamarket nila globally. At they choose Philippines kasi mas mababa yung ating labor cost. That is an example of production concept. Next, we also have product concept. It proposed that consumers favor products offering the most quality, performance, or innovative features. However, managers are sometimes caught in love affair with their products. They might commit the better mousetrap fallacy. Believing a better product will by itself lead people to beat a path to their door. A new or improved product will not necessarily be successful unless it's priced, distributed, advertised, and sold properly. Third, we also have selling concept. The selling concept holds that consumers and businesses, if left alone won't buy enough of the organization's products. For example, insurance and yung mga nagtitinda ng cemetery plot, 'di ba? So talagang hina-hard sell nila yung kanilang services or yung kanilang produkto kasi kapag hindi yun diniscuss sa tao, hindi siya gaano mapipili. Hindi ma-realize ng tao ang kahalagahan ng mga iyon. Okay, next we also have marketing concept. Marketing concept emerged in the mid-1950s as the consumer-centered sense and response philosophy. The job is to find not the right customers for the products, but the right products for the customers. Next, we also have holistic marketing concept. Without question, the trends and forces that have defined the first decade of the 21st century are leading business firms to a new set of beliefs and practices. For example, the marketing memo, Marketing Right and Wrong, suggests where companies go wrong and how they can get it right in their marketing. The holistic marketing concept is based on the development, design, and implementation of marketing programs, processes, and activities that recognize the marketing programs, processes, and activities. We have 8 factors in mind as they create chaotic marketing strategies according to Kotler and Casoline. First, secure your market share from core customer segments. Second, push aggressively for greater market share from competitors. Third, research customers more now because their needs and wants are in flux. Fourth, minimally maintain but seek to increase your market. Fifth, focus on all that's safe and emphasize core values. Sixth, drop programs that aren't working for you quickly. Seventh, don't discount your best brands. And eighth, save the strong, lose the weak. So those are the 8 factors in mind as they create chaotic marketing strategies. It is very helpful in our business. Now let's go to the 4 P's that was updated. According to McCarthy, there are 4 P's in marketing, namely product, price, place, and promotion. Given the complexity and richness of marketing, however, as exemplified by holistic marketing, clearly these 4 P's are not the whole story anymore. If we update them to reflect the holistic marketing concept, we arrive at a more representative set that encompasses modern marketing realities like people, processes, programs, and performance. As you can see in the graph, this is the updated 4Ps. People reflects in part in internal marketing and the fact that employees are critical to marketing success. Marketing will not only be as good as the people inside the organization, it also reflects the fact that marketers must view consumers as people to understand their lives more broadly and not just as they shop for and consume products and services. That's why it's very important to build customer loyalty. Next, processes. It reflects all the creativity, discipline, and structure brought to marketing management. Marketers must avoid ad hoc planning and decision making and ensure that state-of-the-art marketing ideas and concepts play an appropriate role in all they do. Next, programs. Reflects all the firm's consumer-directed activities. It encompasses the old 4Ps as well as a range of other marketing activities that might not fit as neatly into the old view of marketing. Regardless of whether they are online or offline, traditional or non-traditional, these activities must be integrated such as their whole and greater than the sum of their parts and they accomplish multiple objectives for the firm. Now, what are the tasks necessary for successful marketing management? Successful marketing management requires a structured approach that includes the following tasks. First, market research. Continuously gather and analyze data to understand the market trends, customer needs, and competitive landscape. Second is strategic planning. It means that develop long-term marketing strategies that align with the company's overall goals. This includes defining target markets, positioning, and the marketing mix. Next, we have product and brand management. It oversees product development, manage the product lifecycle, and build strong brands that stand out in the marketplace. Lastly, we have marketing execution. It's about implementing marketing plans through coordinated campaigns across various channels, ensuring consistency and effectiveness. We also have connecting with customers. It means attracting a new customer may cost 5 times as much as retaining an existing one. That's why relationship marketing also emphasizes customer retention. It needs to understand customer market. Building strong brands. It is very important to build strong brands because marketers' job is to make our services and our products available to the masses or build a strong image about the products. They must acknowledge and understand the strength and weaknesses of the product as well as how the customers see it to build a strong product. Next, shaping the market offerings. At the heart of the marketing program is the product of the firm's tangible offering to the market, which includes the product quality, design, features, and packaging. Next, we have delivering value. Marketers must also determine how to properly deliver to the target market the value embodied in its products and services. Communicating value. Marketers must also adequately communicate to the target market the value embodied by its products and services. Lastly, creating successful long-term growth. In marketing, it is very important to look not only in the short term, but most importantly, the long-term goals, and specifically about the growth of the business. Based on its product positioning, marketers must initiate new product development testing and launching as part of its long-term view. And now, that is what we have in our marketing for the 21st century. Thank you and God bless.